Hello and welcome to In the Zone, your one-stop source for the latest news on Intel through our Tech Provider Zone website. Joining me today, as always, is Peter Krass, editor of Tech Provider Zone, and we're going to spend the next couple of minutes talking about some of the hottest stories on Tech Provider Zone. And Peter, one of the things that really jumped out at me this week on the blog was with just so much going on right now, in the world. One of the things I noticed was PC benchmarking and why it's not always what it's cracked up to be. What can you just shed a little light on this for everybody?
Yeah, sure, Ed. I'd be happy to. First of all, benchmarking PCs is important for tech providers. It's a way of, first of all, helping them if they're having problems with older PCs, but also a way of specifying what they might need for the future. So it's really an important thing to get right. And what we found is that in a lot of cases, people are not getting it right. And there's a number of reasons why this. Some of these benchmarks don't really duplicate very well what people are doing in the real world. For example, we found one that instead of using Photoshop, which millions and millions of people use, uses some obscure program that we've never heard of. So it's not going to give you a super accurate look. There's another area, which is there's two types of benchmarks, synthetic and realistic. And without going into a lot of detail, you want the realistic one because the synthetics use a kind of an average. The realistic ones actually run real applications and give you a sense. So the piece helps you figure out what's good and what's not so good when you're doing your benchmarking.
Just a quick follow-up on that real quick, because that realistic versus synthetic kind of thing kind of jumped out at me. What would be why would someone pick one versus the other? And I'm thinking more, why would you pick synthetic versus realistic? Because I understand why the other way you would.
Yeah, I think, a lot of it's marketing. They present this as a good thing. We use an average and it changes day by day. But in fact, what we're finding from talking to folks is that you're better off using the realistics. They use something called a wrapper. An example is it can tell Excel to calculate a certain formula, then measure how long that takes. So that's pretty close to how a real user might work.
Excellent. Let's jump forward a little bit here. One of the great things about the blog and the site is that you're always the latest with Intel. And I know there's a new program from Intel that just came out that's going to accelerate business. What can you tell us about it?
It doesn't have the most exciting name, but it is an exciting program. It's called Stock Visibility Options for Intel Data Center Blocks. Now, like I said, not the most exciting title, but what it comes down to is if you are ordering these pre-validated servers, you can get them a lot faster than if you're ordering a custom. How much faster? They're saying 3 weeks or less compared with up to 8 weeks. So that's a big difference, especially now people are urgent. A lot of things are urgent. There's a lot of delays in the supply chain. This is a way to get around that.
Excellent. Let's jump to our final topic for today. It's December as we record this program. It's December as you're all watching this program. It means it's time for best of lists. It's one of the things that the tech world loves to do is best of, best of, best of. And I know one of the things you guys just published was something about the best HPC systems of 2020. What can you tell us about the list?
Yeah, these are these very high performance computing. They're PCs, but they are very high performance. You can use them for things like AI, creating animations, and really high-end gaming. And we looked at 3 of them. Now, 2 of them are really expensive. The Bizon V500, fully loaded, gets up to $37,000. I thought that was a lot, but the Apple Mac Pro, if you really load that baby up, $50,000. A more affordable option is Alienware's Aurora R11, which comes out to about $5,000. But these are really powerful things. We get into some of the details of what sets them apart rather from your everyday ordinary PC. These aren't for running Word and Excel.
And that's why people say, give me what's the latest from Alienware as opposed to that specific model number. So great stuff as always, Peter. We're actually out of time, but I want to thank Peter for his time. Thank you all for watching. Happy holidays, everyone. In the meantime, check out techproviderzone.com for the latest news about Intel. It's always updated with the latest goings on about Intel and the world of technology. So again, thanks so much for your time, Peter. Thank you all for your time, and take care, everyone.